Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello to everybody there in the chat, and a special hello to all our members. I love how your name lights up in green. It is much easier, and you do get priority with comments and questions as well when you're a member, because boom, there it is. I love that. Welcome, everybody. I'm Natalie, and this is Scientology Life After a Cult, where I recap the internet news about Scientology that people are just buzzing about and share about my 35 years in Scientology with 3 generations of my family, and more importantly, how and that we left. Welcome, everybody, and thank you so much for joining on our new time. We're making some changes over here at Scientology Life After a Cult because it is a marathon, not a sprint. And I need my cuddle time in the morning with my Tony. So we were like, okay, I moved some things around with work. Monday through Friday, we're going to be here 8 a.m. Central Time, Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. Central Time. Once in a while, there'll be a change to that. Actually, probably about 1 or 2 days a month. But for the most part, that'll be it. And I'm going to continue doing my interviews, and you'll catch that potentially in the afternoons or the evenings. That's kind of a moving target. So when you subscribe and you hit the like button, make sure you also hit that notification bell and set it to all so that you get my notifications for my interviews, because that is one of my favorite things to do. That it truly is. It really is. Big thank you to my mods here today. We got Nancy here, and my Tony is there as well. Always wonderful to see them and see all of you. We have a lot to go through today. It's often interesting to me how there's often a developing theme, even though so many of these content creators, live streamers, protesters aren't coordinating on what they're doing or talking about. But in watching so much of the content and seeing what you guys send to me, Natalie at lifeafteraccult.com, it was really clear to me yesterday that the theme was about children and the dangers of children in Scientology. And I mean, not just locally here in the US, but across the world. We're going to talk about how Scientology is infiltrating schools in Canada, specifically where was it? I think in Toronto. We're going to look at some stuff from Jeff, PTS for Life. We're going to talk about that. We're going to touch on some things Aaron from Growing Up in Scientology shared about the problem with Scientology beliefs in regard to children. We've got some exciting news on the protest front in California that we're going to talk about. Some changes it looks like that Scientology has made that protesters should be aware about if they don't know already. And then we're going to touch on some protest news across the world, all over the place. I think we're going to Canada today, actually. I mean, here on the show, not in real life, though I'm kind of really itching to go somewhere. But yeah, we'll have to see. My Tony and I, it's that time of year here in the Midwest where we're getting an oddly warm winter, and I just want to go glamping so bad, but cannot dewinterize the camper yet because the water would still freeze because it does get cold overnight. All right. I want to thank Nodia Beeswax. Is that how you say it? I hope I got that right. Thank you so much for becoming a member on the channel. Keep an eye out for some member-only content. It's going to be really fun. I'm going to get into a lot of that this weekend, actually. I did a post on my community page asking the members, what would you like to see? I've got ideas, but I always want to know what your ideas are, what you guys think. Oh, wow. Suppressive Squirrel, your spring break starts today? Wow. That seems so early. But, I am out of touch with spring break now that I don't have kids of my own who are in school. My kids are grown. I love it. I'm a grandma, and I love it. All right, let's take a peek here. Where are we going to go first? We are going to go over to Jeff at PTS for Life. Ooh, this news, this got under my collar. It got under my collar. I got to tell you. Ooh, and I'm so glad that this is known about and something is going to be done about it, because people, wait till you hear this. If you don't know, prepare to be outraged. But something can be done about this. So let's take a look at what Jeff is saying here over at PTS for Life.
Is from the Toronto School Board official calendar of days of significance. Now, you think, oh, big deal, whatever. They got all kinds of names on here of different religions and so forth, and they're just trying to be inclusive. However, my problem here is they have L. Ron Hubbard on here as his birthday as a day of significance, which it is not for the general public. It's important for the Scientologists, yes, but it's not important for regular people. And the only link that they have to information about Scientology is an inaccurate link. It's the official Church of Scientology website. And I find that problematic. And then further investigation, I see that they have a full write-up, which was very clearly written by Scientology itself and just cut and pasted into their official
into their official description. It was just a cut and paste from Scientology. What in the world, Toronto? What in the world? So I know that a lot of you have emailed and keep doing it, raise awareness about it. Check out Jeff's whole video because there's so much more in there. And he gives you specific things that you can do to help do something about this, because kids in school anywhere, and definitely not in Toronto, should not be celebrating L. Ron Hubbard's birthday. Why is that notable? The only thing notable about that here on the channel is, as you know, I'm petty when it comes to Scientology, and I know how much they hate expansion for people like me who've left Scientology, because they tell everybody inside that we don't succeed and we fail and blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what, Scientology? We are working our way towards 20,000 subscribers just to piss you off. And you know, the other thing I was thinking about it actually that's helpful with growing the channel is there are certain guests that I want to have on an interview that I need to be a bigger channel in order to do that and get that on here. And with your help, we're going to get there. Last night I was supposed to interview Scientology Audit Streets LA, William Gude, but we needed to reschedule for today. And in a little bit, I'm going to show you why, and I'm all for it. We're going to talk about why that was. But for now, we're going to get back to Jeff at PTS for Life, because not only did he share that in Toronto, they're all L. Ron Hubbard's birthday as some kind of special day, but they are spamming community libraries. You know, those cute little wooden libraries that people put up in their community? Take a book, leave a book. I absolutely love those. Here is Scientologists spamming these things with books by L. Ron Hubbard. Check it out.
This guy here is her husband, and I think this is just funny because this was sent to me as well. What they're doing is they're buying Dianetics books. As you can see him standing here holding the Dianetics book, and he is placing them in those little libraries that are in neighborhoods that are free for people to take. So they're buying their own books and depositing them in these libraries. Here's another one. Here's him. It almost looks like he's doing this sneakily, but he's got Dianetics, the original thesis, and he is putting them in these little libraries for people to find. And that's their way of disseminating these days, because I guess they're just not selling enough books. Now, you got to ask, this guy here is her husband, and I think this is just funny.
Spamming the community book thing all over. We've got those around where I live in my area, and I always thought they were great. And I know that if I opened that up, I'd be like, what the heck? What the heck? They're buying these books and then putting them out there. I mean, I guess, right? If you're in Scientology, from your point of view, you want to disseminate and promote Scientology, but don't like it. Don't like it. The other thing I don't like is children in Scientology. Aaron over at Growing Up in Scientology he shared, you got to go watch the whole video. Links down below. I need to add them in. Actually, I think I might have forgotten to do that when I started. I'm going to go add in all the links. See the whole video, because he makes the most amazing points about children in Scientology, the danger of children in Scientology. And I agree with him 100%. Being one of those children who grew up in Scientology, there's a lot that we didn't see as abusive because we were indoctrinated to believe that that was normal and that is what was expected of us. And for many of us, we were well into adulthood and even sometimes years out of Scientology before we even recognized that that was abusive. Anyways, take a little look and a listen here.
That in Scientology, this belief that they have that we're all immortal spiritual beings translates into a belief that there really is no such thing as a child. There are no guardrails or protections in place in Scientology for children. That is because Scientology doesn't believe that children are children. If you see a 4-year-old child, a Scientologist would tell you, well, 4 years and 1 day ago, the being occupying that 4-year-old body was probably occupying the body of a 79-year-old adult, 90-year-old adult whose body died, and the being jumped over into a new baby body at the local hospital.
That is 100% what we were indoctrinated to believe in Scientology, that you're not a child, you're a spiritual being, you are an immortal spiritual being in a smaller body. This is why you end up having children in positions that they should not be in, discussing things, hearing things, experiencing things with adults that they should never be hearing. You hear Serge Del Mar over at literally Serge. You got to get over there. If you don't know about him and if you don't already subscribe, listen to it, because I'll be honest, listening to Serge is a lot that helped me understand that some of my experiences were not okay and were abusive in Scientology when I was growing up. When I was 16 years old, not even in the Sea Organization, I was in Los Angeles training at a Sea Organization org to be what's called a magistrate. It's an ethics officer basically in Scientology for my org back in Hawaii, where I was a staff member. And at 16, part of my apprenticeship, part of my training for my job, I had to handle grown men on their self-pleasuring habits, which were not allowed while they were there training. And I had to put their ethics in. And it was disgusting. It was disgusting then. It really bothered me. But I thought at that time, I just need to get my TRs in. I mean, I was a virgin at the time. And the things that I had to listen to were, disturbing. Not something you want to hear. Not something you want to hear. So this is kind of the point, though. I think you get the point that on multiple levels in Scientology, there are no place for children. In Scientology, children cannot consent. And when you're raised that way and you're indoctrinated to believe that that is who you are, that you're this immortal being, you're not a child, you accept it. And then they're drilling out of you. They push your buttons over and over again in your training when you're doing training routines so that you don't react, so that you, at least not externally, and you were indoctrinated to believe that your reaction to an adult telling you disgusting sexual things is your fault. It's a bad thing because you have a button on it and you should not have a button on it. That's messed up, massively messed up. And it's something we're just going to keep talking about it and exposing it. Liz Ferris, thank you so much. Liz gifted 5 Scientology Life After Occult memberships. Liz, thank you. Cece, hey, I'm so glad you became a member. Thank you. And thank you for being here. All right. So yesterday, remember I told you we were supposed to have William Gude on last night around 5:30 Central Time for an interview that I've really been looking forward to, and I still am. But he reached out and he said that there was something that he needed to do at the same time, and could we reschedule? And I'm like, yeah, just don't get arrested because, I want you to be there for our interview the next day. And this is what I'm going to share with you what he did. This is over on his other channel, Film the Police. He went to the send-off ceremony for the LAPD chief who basically got let go, fired because, William's going to tell you. But picture this, right? Picture this. Let's just paint the picture here for a hot minute. You're the LAPD police chief. You know you're disgraced. You know what you've done. You know that you've covered up multiple instances of sexual harassment and other things. But they're making it like, oh, he's such a great guy. He's going to be, let's just send him off. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray for him. No. William Gude was there letting them all know what the deal was. You got to watch his whole video. I only have a snippet of it. But he gets there and they try not to let him in because the police officers who were acting as security were letting him know, hey, no, you got to go over here. You got to go over here. He's like, no, I'm pressed. You got to let me in. Oh, He's just so amazing. I'm all good girl over here. And so is my Tony. He chimed in yesterday and he's like, I'm a good girl too. You can be a good, you can be whatever you want, Tony. But I love it. We both love what he's doing and what he brings to this movement. But let's take a look at this. This is crazy in all crazy in all the wonderful ways.
Hey, Michael, you're not retiring. You're being fired, Michael. You're being fired for launching.
Oh, this made me so happy. This was so worth rescheduling this interview for. When I saw this, I was like, this is so classic. All right, hold on. I just got to redo something here. I love this so much. I can't even stand it. Now, remember, he had to kind of like push his way in and get in there. And the police chief is getting his big send off. Reminder, people, if you could like this video, I would absolutely love it. Hit that subscribe button too. Here we go.
Hey, Michael, you're not retiring. You're being fired, Michael. You're being fired for launching an illegal investigation into the mayor. You're being fired, Michael. She's just allowing you to walk away in grace that you don't deserve. You are being fired, and you owe Commander Carranza an apology for covering up her sexual harassment. You covered up sexual harassment for years. You're being fired. You are fired. You're fired, Michael. You got fired. This is not honorable, and shame on all these people that stand up for this guy that launched an illegal investigation into the mayor. Shame on them. And all the sexual harassment.
He sticks around and really gives it to them. It is so great. And it's on his Film the Police channel. I'm going to put all the links down below so you guys can go watch all these videos and subscribe to all these channels to support the amazing content creation that's going on. How amazing was that, though? I was just watching it like, I just loved it. Oh, I almost died. I too almost fell out of my chair. Seriously, totally. It was so fabulous. So fabulous. I cannot wait to talk to him about this tonight. And 5:30 Central Time, William's going to come on the channel. We're going to do our interview. Bring your questions. If you can be here live, would absolutely love it. Otherwise, be sure to catch it on the replay. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss it. You don't want to miss it. Another thing you don't want to miss is something that the Lore of D.O.A. shared yesterday, which was, this is some interesting news here. And people in the Los Angeles area who can show up to this, I think it'd be absolutely fabulous. The Lore of D.O.A. Scotty is just doing his thing. He had a new hat, by the way. I always love it when he brings out some kind of new outfit or new gear or new hat. But I was like vibing on that hat that he was wearing yesterday. I put it in the thumbnail. Give this a look and a listen.
This is new here too, guys. We have a public meeting coming up. We need everyone there in full force, man. Straight up. Everybody. This is new. So notice a public hearing. It'll be available virtually in a hybrid format. Please check the meeting agenda approximately 72 hours before the meeting for additional evidence. March 12th, 2024 at 4:30 p.m. Okay. So I'm going to get all those videos together of all the attacks and make sure that that's seen. People coming out here drunk.
Yes. So DOA is putting together the videos of multiple people coming out heavily intoxicated out of La Poubelle and assaulting protesters who were there exercising their First Amendment right, because this is a public hearing on their liquor license. Yeah, people should show up for that. I know people will. Laura, I could not read the print to find out where it was. If anybody knows where that is and you have better eyes than me, put it in the comments or put it in the chat. Otherwise, I'll find out from him and we'll get that shared on my community tab so that we will know. We will know where that is, but we know the when and we know the why, and we will share the where, because that is something that I think it's going to be something. I know it's going to be. And it's just exposing things so much more. And it involves the city at that point. All right, Mindy Williams was out and she caught a couple of things that are different in Scientology land. They're in Hollywood. So we're going to take a look at a couple things that she found and shared. This is Mindy Williams stream. If you don't follow her, she's great. She's just lovely and she's talented too. I love when she sings on her streams. Check this out.
We know we belong to the land, yo-ho, and the land we belong to is grand. And when we say, yippee-yo-yay, we're only saying you're doing fine, Oklahoma.
Hold on. I think that's actually not the part here. The part that I wanted is over here.
Which Best Buy? The other day. Whoa, I did not know that. Hi, Holly. So the cover is gone. There's no more cover.
So this is over where the Sea Org members get on the buses. Remember how they had it all blocked off? It was all blocked off and now it's not. It's just interesting thing to note. It's not blocked off anymore. Why? There's some other things too that we're going to take a look at. She caught that and shared that. And she was over by the Hollywood Testing Center as well and noticed something else that she shares, which you might have caught in some other videos, but I wanted to call it out because, it's just a little change in Scientology world. Take a look.
Come on, let's go and play. I never see you anymore. Come out the door. It's like you've gone away. Look at this. They changed the sign. We used to be best buddies. And
they changed the sign. So down below, they have the blinds closed, but it says Scientology.org right on there. Here's the interesting thing to me about that. You remember during the early days of the Hollywood Testing Center, when these protests were first going on, they would use trickery. I'm sure they still do in other areas to get people to come in. Oh, it's a party. Come see a free film. Oh, Lady Gaga loves this. Never saying that it's Scientology. There was a sign that didn't have a light on it that did say it was Scientology. There was a light that was shined so brightly on a sign that said Scientology that you couldn't see the Scientology part. So it's like they were kind of trying to hide the fact that they were Scientology. But here now they clearly put in the window, and you know what? Props to you, Scientology. You get a little hip hip hooray for that because at least you being honest. Scientology.org. Interesting. We learned through leak emails from our favorite Scientology spy, Diane over in Ventura, that they're going to have a reopening of the Hollywood Testing Center. Scientology has been telling their parishioners that it is undergoing a renovation. It's just been undergoing a renovation. We're going to have a whole opening. And I would imagine they're going to do that before L. Ron Hubbard's birthday, which is March 13th. And sometime around that date will be the L. Ron Hubbard birthday event, which is huge. It's like Scientology Christmas, okay? It is a big deal for them. That is one of their largest propaganda events. They will share all of their, BS about expansion. This is where members are indoctrinated to believe that Scientology is flourishing and prospering and doing all this good in the community. So, yeah. Smooth Steve, his birthday is March 14th. We're going to have to celebrate that, Smooth Steve. So close. Danny Masterson's birthday is also on March 13th. I always thought that was interesting. Also interesting, what Solomon shared last night. Oh my gosh. If you did not catch this, turn your ears on. You're going to want to listen to this one. This blew me away. This is on Confident Chris on his stream. And if you don't know, Solomon is a kid who's been there protesting for quite some time. I think he's 17 years old. So he is a minor. Keep that in mind when you're listening to what he shares. Keep that in mind. This is just bizarre. Bizarre, scary stuff, incredibly inappropriate. And once again, going after the kids. Listen to this.
I'm not saying this is not nice. I'm just saying the other one looked way safer. It's like too high for me. And it's like very uncomfortable. I get like 20 miles.
This just says she's not your Uber. Oh my god. Silver.
They're talking about his new bike right now, but they're about to get to it.
He's press photographer. Well, yeah, but it might be for the event.
I don't know, but no, it didn't smell like that. It just smelled like dirt. Like.
Oh, wait, did I pass it? Hold on a second. I did pass it. So Chris, confident Chris, is walking up over at La Poubelle where Solomon is. And they have a conversation. So let's get a little closer.
You spinning the block? I'm cold. Genuinely cold. The hell? You're making posters. Hold on, let me put my brightness down. Oh, it's a line. That's why too. It's a big line. But it's not for the restaurant. It's for the theater thing. And because Salomon. It's cold. Huh?
Hollywood Aja.
What up? How you doing, man? New bike, huh? I like the other one more, man. The other one looks way safer than this one. No, I'm not saying this is not nice. I'm just saying the other one looks way safer.
It's like too high for me. And it's like very uncomfortable. I get like 20 miles.
This just says she's not your Uber. Oh my god. Silver. He's press photographer. Well, yeah, but
Hold on a sec. I'm going to pull this up a different way with a different video. Give me a minute here. Hold on. Hold on. Let's get to the right spot. Solomon, it is good. He looks like he got a haircut too. And I like the new bike. He said it's easier to fold up into his dad's car when he gets picked up. I thought that was so smart. All right.
private investigators at La Poubelle. He just said I was at.
So he just said there's a private investigator at La Poubelle. This is Solomon talking, if you can hear him. And listen to what he says the guy said to him.
Best Buy yesterday. I was here yesterday, right? And then it happened yesterday when he said it. It says I was at Best Buy at 11. Like, how did he know that?
Who Solomon is identifying as a private investigator from La Poubelle could be somebody in security there. He does show a photo of him. Told Solomon yesterday that, oh, you were at Best Buy at 11 o'clock a.m. And Solomon was, but he wasn't live streaming. There's no way no one would know that he was there. He was there to get a mount for his phone.
You were not live? I was not live at all. I was just shopping for a mount, for a phone mount, you know? And then this guy apparently knows how, and I never even saw him yesterday. That's weird. Stalking a kid? They're saying, oh, we're just private investigating just in case you're one of those kids who stormed the stores.
Where's the guy? Did you take a picture?
Yeah.
Can I see?
Who said that, though?
This guy's a private investigator.
That's creepy as hell.
All right.
Sorry. If anything, we should be pressing charges again. Did you record that too?
I called him a pedophile, and then he didn't like it. He said, stop calling me a pedophile.
I don't know if you heard that part, but Solomon's response to the guy was he called him a pedo. Which surprisingly, the guy did not like. Well, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't be stalking kids. Maybe you shouldn't be following a minor and then telling him that you knew where he was. That's creepy. That's massively creepy. You should not be doing that. And they need to be called out on it. It wasn't a real clear picture of the guy, but I bet somebody else has it and they will share it. They will share it and they will make it known. Lenora Gray, thank you so much For the super chat, good morning, Natalie. Why does YouTube keep unsubscribing me? Remind your viewers to be sure they are still subscribed. I honestly don't know why, but yes, check your subscribe button. Check your button, everybody. Hey, Perth Scientology Audit, thank you for becoming a member. And thank you as well for what you're doing in Perth. We have shared some of your videos. Keep them coming. Email me anything that you want to bring attention to Natalie@lifeafteroccult.com. because we want to keep sharing the news of what's happening in other parts of the world. Now, Chris Without a Hellcat, he was on fire yesterday. He really was. He really was. He is so good at getting Scientologists to talk to him. He is so good at it. And there's two examples two instances we're going to share back to back where you're really going to see the difference between some Scientologists and others. And what Chris Without a Hellcat has to say about that. So take a look at this.
Oh, yeah?
It's hard to hear the guy, but he's basically saying that he is a Scientology auditor and he's working hard to get Chris to come in. Which I think he almost recruited Chris into Scientology. I thought, are we going to have to send out, a group? Are we going to have to do an intervention? We don't. He's okay. Chris did not fall for it. But this guy's saying he's a Scientology auditor and he should come in because you can just look at these videos and explain Scientology and nobody's going to bug you, which I thought that's cute that he felt and knew he needed to say no one was going to bug you. So let's listen to more of this.
To tell you all about it. Nobody will bug you. You can just
Okay.
you just walk around the corner, go in the door,
Yeah.
and tell them Joe sent you. I'm Joe.
Joe, nice to meet you, man. I'm Chris.
Hi, Chris.
How long have you been in Scientology?
Only about 50 years.
There you go. Only 50 years? Holy crap. Yeah.
What's your name?
Chris.
Chris. Hi, Chris.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Joe.
I gotta run. But
All right, yeah, take care. You're going on, I think they call it like, they do like audits or something, or? Oh, you're an auditor.
50 years this guy's been in Scientology.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. Finances. Really?
Joe's trying to find Chris's ruin right there on the street. Things. What do you need help with? What do you need help with? And yeah, Chris captures that. This guy. I mean, you know what? I gotta say, it's nice that he had the conversation, that he answered the questions. He wasn't thrown, even when he saw the phone. I mean, obviously, I don't think this man is on the internet and is not aware of the protests and things going on. Maybe he is. I doubt it. But here's the interesting thing. He is a Scientology auditor. He's been in Scientology 50 years. He's willing to communicate and have a conversation. Obviously, security was not on their game because they didn't come whisk him away. They did not, but he didn't know. It really didn't seem like he knew what was happening. And I find that interesting because sometimes Scientology will pick and choose who they tell about stuff going down. And they usually do it in the form of a confidential briefing. If you hear the words confidential briefing in Scientology, that means hide your wallet. Hide your wallet, hide your cards, because Scientology is coming after your money. Special confidential briefing. And that's when they usually say these squirrels and these suppressives are just out there and they're crazy and they're psychotic and we need to bring them down and we need to build up our war chests. And that's the pitch then for donate to the International Association of Scientologists, to the war chest, as they call it. They use it all. But apparently Joe didn't get this briefing, which is, you know what? That's great. That's fine. And I love that Joe's having a conversation like a normal person. Just being real. Be more like Joe. So then Chris tries to talk to some other Scientologists, but it goes differently.
Excuse me, guys. Are you guys Scientologists? Okay, they just ignored me. They weren't that cool. They weren't as cool as Joe. See, people like Joe, they give Scientology a good name. These guys, when I record them, they're showing the world that Scientologists are a-holes, All Scientology has to do is say, hey, you know what, guys? Yeah, we screwed up. We do a lot of bad stuff, but at least be transparent about it. the reason Scientology is so big is because of the mysteriousness about it. The reason it's really, that's it.
That's interesting. I don't think that's exactly why, but I appreciate the point of view. There's Scientology has a lot of what they call whales, which are very big donors in Scientology, who then get tax exempt status. And that's a big benefit when, you know, you need to have some write-offs. Kay Taylor, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank goodness for your recaps. It's hard to keep up. A good thing. I totally agree. It's a good thing. I would spend a lot of time in Duluth, Minnesota when my mom was still with us. Ah, you remind me of her with the way you pronounce some of your words. Ah, thank you. That's cool. I like Duluth. I haven't been there in a while, but I really feel like I need to, like I said, I'm itching right now to like get out. Sushi Full, thank you so much. Gifted 5 memberships, 5 Life After a Cult memberships. I appreciate that and appreciate you. All right, Gabrielle. Where'd you go? There you are. Gabrielle Bad Wolf. Bet Scientology must love. We call the protest auditing Scientology. Yes. In fact, when I first was learning, which I learned about the whole First Amendment audit through Aaron on his channel. And at first, when I saw William's channel, Scientology Audit, I thought it was just a play on Scientology auditing. But really, it's in the First Amendment world, it's First Amendment audit. And, yeah, I just think it's so hilarious that it's so close to a Scientology audit. It's going to be very confusing to Scientologists. It is. And some of them on social media might go, oh, Scientology audit, click. And then they're like, oh my gosh, what is this? What's happening? Yeah, totally happens. Totally going to happen. You know it is. Okay, so Chris Without a Hellcat, like I said, he was on fire yesterday. He was all over the place and he found something very interesting. All these Amazon boxes were going to the Scientology Management Building, where I think it's at the HGB, the Hollywood Guarantee Building. And the interesting thing that stood out to me about this was one of the names on these packages. Give this a listen.
So let's see this one. This one's for Patrick Merwin, Haley Savage, Jean-Pierre Moulet, Canteen, no last name. This one's for Pianlopi Kardashi, Mark Yeager, Samantha Meckham. Hey, all of these are for Scientology.
Mark Yeager. Mark Yeager is a senior, or was very senior Scientology executive, always at the international events back when he was allowed. I have not, even when I was still in Scientology, this man seemed to be missing. He, I believe, was also in the hole at the international base back when David Miscavige kept many senior executives in Scientology, including Mike Rinder, in a double wide trailer, locked them in there. They ate there, they slept there, they worked there, and a lot of abuses happened within that trailer. Huge abuses. And Mark Yeager was one of those. So I'm like, how's this dude getting packages now? Like, what's happening? What is that about? I don't know, but I found it very interesting. It definitely stood out as like, what? Wait a minute. What is happening? I also thought it was interesting that so many Sea Organization members are getting Amazon packages. I guess the world has changed. Maybe even in Scientology. Maybe they're allowed to do that. We're going to pop over to Chicago because this weekend, people, the opening of the Chicago organization is happening. So this is a creator. I don't know if she pronounced it Nance or Nancy Drew. I'm thinking maybe it's Nancy. Check it out. She's outside the new Chicago org building and she's commenting on the cameras. There's so many cameras and Scientology's adding more, and not just on Scientology buildings. Check this out.
You see all the cameras. They've put in more cameras since they recently opened. I counted in the alley when I went down there. I think it was 9 or 10. And I haven't counted the front yet, but yeah. So let's see. Got 42 folks in here right now. I'm gonna see if I can. I don't want to stand with my back to the Camera. They have audio too. Oh, and there's another camera. Columbia let them put a camera right there. I didn't see that one before. You see? So they must have had permission and paid off for that right in front of Columbia. That's sad. That is sad.
There is one of the Scientology cameras that was not there before, is now in front of the Columbia College. Because, they just said, oh, for security, we want to help keep the neighborhood safe. Okay, so now Scientology has a camera right outside the college. So they're going to see every college student who comes and goes. They're going to be able to zoom in on every college student or faculty member who comes and goes on their phone, which these cameras can do. Ask Pearl Snappy. Pearl Snappy shared with us, she said these are high-tech cameras that completely can zoom in on your phone. That's why she recommends doing these things that you can put on your phone where you can't do that. I don't know the word for it, but it's a thing. I'm sure the Google machine will tell you what it is, or Pearl Snappy herself. That is just creepy as all get out. We're going to put cameras. I mean, hey, I am all for the whole safety thing, right? Especially in a city like with Chicago. It's a big city. But we know, right? You and me, we know. Scientology is not doing that to protect anybody at that college. They're doing it to have another angle on the street for protesters. They're doing it so they can see these kids coming and going and maybe see what these kids are looking at on their phones, because maybe they're following the protest. I don't know. Pearl Snappy. Yes, privacy screen for mobile. Boom. That right there. I need to get that too. Yes. Isn't it creepy, Pearl, these cameras, what they're doing there? It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Okay, so speaking of Pearl Snappy, we're going to go over to a Pearl Snappy clip. And what stuck out to me, what in the world are these Scientologists wearing? Is this a new uniform? What's happening? And Pearl Snappy, if you know, you got to tell me, because I'm like, I looked at this and I was like, what in the name of the Bee Gees is happening here? What is happening here? I just don't know, but take a look at this, you guys. Take a look.
The stupid
Pearl Snappy in Austin.
Creepy idiot cult freaks. Oh, so proud, so brave to be in your creepy little space cult that likes child trafficking. Amazing, you guys. So proud, so brave. Oh, I saw you in a video with Clap and Kyle. That's the guy that was in the video with Clap and Kyle. You can't see through the thing.
Notice too, the windows are all open. In fact, here, we're going to do something here. Pearl Snappy, if you're free and available, I'm going to send you a link to pop in if you can, because I want to ask you about this. I got questions. I'm sending it from my Tonka Talk email to your Pearl Snappy Gmail, but pop in with us if you can, because like I said, I got questions. I'm just like, I'm something is happening here. But did you guys see what they were wearing? Now, I am not one, I am not a big fashion person, as you can probably tell as you have watched the channel. I would wear some type of comfortable onesie all the time if I could do that for my job and it was publicly acceptable. I still might, because I feel once you get to a certain age, you should be able to do what you want. I'm not quite there yet, but I am training for it. But I want to know. So Pearl Snappy, if you're here, if you can, pop in. Because I want to ask about your thoughts on that. But what do you guys think? It's, the turtleneck and then the chain on the outside. It just, it really gives Bee Gees. I just expected them to just start in with a little bit of Bee Gees music. And if you don't know the Bee Gees, because you're from a very different generation, you got to Google it. But I think you'll know. Rona, yeah, right? It's the Tom Cruise uniform. That's where I saw it before. I was like, this is so, it looks so familiar to me. This is why. Hey, girl.
Hello.
Okay, so I mean, obviously, there's much more to talk about in Scientology news and ways, and I'm kind of getting hung up on this. But what in the world of 1970 is happening?
Okay, so all of them have little outfit upgrades. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
There's also like the new gold-backed vests.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
don't
The
know.
vests that they wear, they're silver. I want to say in Hollywood.
Now they're
Maybe,
gold.
maybe they are gold. Okay.
It's the golden era of administration, I guess.
Wow.
But they also have like some sort of weird cop out there now who knows my name and that I have a PhD.
Who's a cop? I
well,
heard that on your
he's in a-
stream, and I couldn't totally tell people what happened.
So he comes up to me and he has this weird like his outfit is ill-fitting.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's way too baggy. It was weird. I didn't recognize the little whatever he had on there.
Yeah.
But he was in a constable car, like a Travis County constable car. So I don't know if I don't know, but he knew me.
Mm-hmm.
He knows that I have a PhD. And I was like, well, that's weird. I was like, did the creepy cult tell you that? And he was like, I'm just doing research.
No, the creepy cult told him that. They handed a binder probably on you to them.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like, so they brought you here just for me. Oh, no, there's all these vagrants on the drag and have been for the last 40 years
Mm-hmm.
and the last month that I've been out here. So what's going on?
Yeah.
So the only thing that he said to me was that the one thing I want to address with you that the APD did not is that you just can't swear at them. I'm like, okay, fine, not a problem. And he was like, oh, and then I shook his hand because they were all watching and I wanted them to see that.
Yeah.
Then I wanted to like cut my hand off because I don't know where he's from, but so I don't really know what's going on. It's very suspect, and I'm not going to be intimidated by these weirdos.
Mm-mm. No, of course not. It's just I've not seen those uniforms, so I'm like, okay, is this just an upgrade?
Weird. No, and now they're all they're wearing their necklaces now too.
Is
Like,
it the
before they used to-
Scientology cross?
Yeah. And so they used to like tuck them in or like not have one at all. Now they're like all like iced out with their Sciento bling.
Wow. Wow. Victoria's asking, how do you feel about these people tracking people's phones, and how do people safeguard against that?
It depends on how they're tracking it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I can't give like I could give like a whole class on this. So
Yeah.
it depends on what they got from you, but just know that they'll try. Just know that they'll try.
Yeah, definitely.
Get the screen protector.
Mm-hmm. And that's an easy one. And then they can't see in your phones with these cameras that are high up above. Did you see in Chicago that they put a camera outside the college?
I was just watching that. Yeah, I would. So first of all, there's a lot of students that are watching these streams that are in that dorm. Okay, so they know what is going on.
Yeah.
So to all, hey, everyone from that dorm that's watching, could you call and complain about that? And also maybe have your parents call and complain. That'd be really great.
Yeah, that there's a Scientology camera right outside your building.
Yeah.
Just like, just there for the angle. I just thought that was crazy. But like I said, the weird thing was just the switch out in the uniform there, and how
everyone got a uniform upgrade at that whole org.
Okay.
They all got like some sort of new, but it's also very cheap, and they all have like the fold still from like the packaging it came in.
No,
so they haven't even been laundered yet.
Wow,
less
you can
ironed.
see that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
It's in a couple of the videos, or it's in that video. You can see one guy. I'm pretty sure I make fun of him because of his gold vest. So you could see it, but you could definitely see it on Saturday too. They all got there's some new uniform upgrade. I don't know, maybe they fired back from Flag with that.
So maybe those are the people who came back from Flag. It's hard to tell, but if you look at
yes, those three specifically, yes, because I watched their videos from when they graduated. And then there was that creepy dude from the Austin org with like the chin strap goatee situation.
Yeah.
And he was interviewing them all, and he's like, oh, and they're going off to Flag to get this training, or they're going to LA for the executive training. So all those kids have been to those states. And then when they came back, they were all wearing like black turtlenecks, black pants, and like really repping their Sciento bling.
What that's the interesting part to me too is were these, because I could see the chain on one of them that stood out, but you're saying each of them were wearing a Scientology cross?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
All of those younger people, like the people in that age range,
Mhm.
I've not seen it on the people that survived the Titanic or anything, but just the younger kids. And for people that are wondering too, just FYI, anybody that's going in there, and I could, from what I've seen,
Yeah.
they're either going in there to mess with them or they were already in. I'm not seeing them being body routed in there at this point,
Mhm.
but they're doing it. They're being real sneaky. They're not going to do it in front of me. They know that it will bring me too much joy, and so they won't. I think they're doing it at the coffee shop and the Chipotle next door, and then they've got to be going on campus. So I'll figure it out.
Yeah, and I can't imagine that the Chipotle or the coffee shop would appreciate Scientology recruitment happening in
I
there.
think there's some connections with the coffee shop. I'm not entirely sure, but there's some connections there. They're letting them do that. And they
Yeah.
also were not pleasant with me when I tried to be like, hey, they're going to close down this whole sidewalk, which, by the way, they didn't. They just took down a whole nother road.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a whole nother thing. I wanted to share this with you. Can you hang for a little bit with us?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I want to share this with you in case you did not see it. I thought this was super cute and funny, and I think this couple needs to come out. And they were talking about wanting to come out inspired by your protesting, and they're not far. It sounds like they're near Austin. And but everybody take a look. This is I'm going to put a link down below because I totally forgot the channel name, but I'm going to link it down below. Check this out.
All right, so here's my predicament. I want to go and protest Scientology with the other TikToker, YouTuber protesters. I want to go to Austin. I think it's the closest one where things are happening. And Dustin doesn't want to go with me.
You just want to uproot everything. She just wants to leave. She sees people on the internet. She says, I want to go.
Yeah, but I think we should show people that we can do it. We can stand up for a cause and a cause that we believe in. And I'm passionate about it.
Yeah.
Dustin doesn't care about anything.
She's very passionate.
Dustin just cares about himself.
You shut your mouth. You shut your mouth right now. That ain't true. She just saw a bunch of people on the internet. Now she wants to go hang out with them.
That's not true.
What did you write in chat? Tell me what you wrote in chat.
Oh, yeah.
What did you write in chat?
I should put it right here. I was laying in bed watching the live stream like I do it pretty much every night. and I wrote in William Gude's Streets LA's chat, I was like, I'm a good girl. And then he read it out loud and Dustin
immediately.
And Dustin was like,
likely lost you a good girl. I was like, what? What do you mean? I'm part of that. I'm not a good girl. I was like, what is that?
You can be a good boy.
But cute couple, and I think they're here in the chat. So I hope they do make it to Austin. I'm going to link these videos down below. Nancy's putting them in the chat as well. Go ahead and subscribe. More people we can get out there, the better. And sounds like they're going around in an RV and they could go almost anywhere, but are near to you. And you were just out there inspiring the young people.
Hey, that's awesome. That's the point. Because I'm going to be out there. I'm going to be there today for sure. I just don't know if I'm going to try to ruin their first graduation or not. And I don't want them to know either.
Yeah.
So, but I'll be there for sure this weekend. And then we will be working on some little Davey upgrades. He's going to have some fun, new, exciting adventures in and around the org. Well, not in, because we're probably both criminally trespassed, me and little Davey. Well, it'll be around, and then maybe we can get some more information about my new babysitter. But yes, come on out. Come on out. If you're around here, pearlsnappy@gmail, pearlsnappy@protonmail, whatever. Just let me know. Or also just show up, because now we have a babysitter. So
yeah,
awesome. We have our own protection.
How many times has he been there?
This is the first time. I think he was waiting there because this was the first day I've been since Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And he was ready. He was just like, oh yeah, she's here. This is my moment. I'm like, cool, bro. So he's gonna be there every day. And when I asked him, I will say this, there was a guy who was likely having some sort of mental and or drug induced situation.
Mhm.
And that guy, whatever he is, came up and was like, he's like, "Can I just ask you to not engage with this person?" And I'm like, "Why would I?" Like, he's having a moment.
Yeah.
And he's just like, "Well, I'm here for your safety as well." And I'm like, "Oh, you're gonna try to sell me a bridge too?"
Mhm. Park Bench is asking, what's the name of the coffee shop?
Medici, Medici.
Medici. So that's where they seem to be recruiting from.
Yeah. I mean, they go in there.
Mhm.
And they travel in threes. I
Wow,
don't know why.
that's
They're always
interesting
in
too.
threes. And they'll go, but now they have the little cafe and they're still going to that coffee shop and they're still going into the Chipotle.
Interesting. Maybe no one knows how to work the espresso machine in the Scientology coffee
Well,
shop.
one of the people that is doing all the work in the cafe is one of the people that he's actually a very nice man. He's not one of the crusty people that likes to scream in my face. He's actually a very nice man. But then that makes me feel sorry for him, and I don't like to do that. But he's doing everything in that cafe. He's like unloading stuff, but also their stupid front door is broken. Like, hey, Scientology, this is why you can't have nice things. The building has been open for 3 days, and you broke the door.
You already broke the door. Groovy Witch, who I believe is heading to the Chicago opening this weekend, is asking, is there a good way to talk to neighboring businesses to help them push back on this cult?
You got to give it a try, but probably not, because none of us have the money that Scientology does, sadly. And it's not that they don't want to help you necessarily, but like they probably can't. That's what happened with the Baptist church. And you're also going to get a lot of pushback from all churches. And that can be a whole separate conversation, because KK has been meeting with a lot of church leaders. And so they don't want their tax exemption to go away either. Let's just put it that way. So they're going to hang together with their buds.
But they're not out necessarily stalking kids and putting cameras outside of colleges, because that's not creepy at all.
If someone could think of a way to like preemptively safe point them for like all of the people that are not Scientologists, that would be great. I don't know what that idea is yet. But again, you talk to them, you're also going to find a big difference between the staff and the owners. The staff are going to be like, "What? Ew." And the owners will be like, "We're aware of it. We do not have a comment." And you're like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, Scientology got to you. And I love what what William Gude does in Los Angeles, and some of the other, Jessica Palmadessa as well, is they are supporting the local businesses where they're like buying ice cream, encouraging people to go there. I've seen a lot of that happening around there, and I know
did
those
that at
businesses
first,
formed up.
and then they decided to take Scientology's side. We bought gift certificates. We over tipped them. We tried to we gave a gift certificate to a Sea Org member. They did not take it. They just left it on the table. So we tried.
Yeah, you tried. Well, I am excited. I love your channel. I love the original songs. I cannot get enough. It's often sometimes when I watch, because the topic, a lot of what we talk about on the across SPTV has to do with things that are really heavy, and they are, and it should shock you. It should appall you. You should be disgusted by it. I'll often then go over to your channel, even if I've already seen the video, and just watch a little bit about it, because for me, it feels like such a release to hear you screaming at them.
Right.
Or singing and calling people out. It's just, it's a lot often, especially with I love doing the recaps, and I'm going to keep doing it. But sometimes I need a brain scrub, and you have become my brain scrub.
Oh, I appreciate that. I go through peaks and valleys of being very, very triggered by them.
Yeah.
But here's what kind of muted my triggers by them.
Yeah.
The Scientology hissy fits. And it was KK who pointed these out. I love them. I cannot get enough of them. Yeah. I love a Scientology hissy fit. Grown men stomping their feet like toddlers.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Yeah. It is. We saw that happen in, I think it was in Chicago as well. There's a Sea Org member who came out.
It's the same guy.
What?
It's the same guy. It's
no
the
way.
Same guy that had the decibel meter hissy fit tantrum.
Wow. Wow. That is crazy. That's crazy. Well, I am going to wrap up with a couple other things there. I appreciate you popping in.
Thank you so
And
much.
yeah,
I'll see y'all later.
let me know what you're up to because I don't want to miss it. We'll have to
For
chat
sure.
later.
All right,
All
sounds
right.
good.
Talk
Bye,
to you
chat.
later. Love her, love her, love her. She is out there doing the Lord's work in Texas. I'm telling you, she is. Crafting Emily, thank you so much for becoming a member and joining the channel here. Shayla as well. And hip, hip, hooray, everybody. Giant hip, hip, hoorays for all of you who became members today. Truly appreciate it and the support. Gia61, hip, hip, hooray. JK in Toronto. Ooh, you're in Toronto. That's where some stuff is going down. Thank you so much for the super chat. You are all doing amazing work. Watching right now with my buddy Josh to start off his birthday weekend. Well, happy birthday to Josh. That is fantastic. Yeah, in Toronto, that's where they're trying to get into the school system there. No surprise there, right? There is a new channel, well, new to me anyways. I guess I don't know if it's new for sure, over in Kentucky, starting to do some Scientology auditing. Check it out.
There's their fake cross. Trying to trick you into thinking it's a Christian church.
Nothing happening over there in Scientology. But again, I'm going to link everything below as soon as I get off here. Liz Ferris, 80 left till Carrie joins me on a live. Oh my gosh, that's it. Okay, people, we can do this. We can do this. 80 more subscribers for Liz Ferris, and her wife's going to hop on. And I love this. So get over to Liz Ferris's channel and do that. There's no reason why that cannot happen today. Oh, Liz, I love that so much. So much. Liz did a great video, by the way. I think it was yesterday. Just the passion and the care. I say this often about Liz Ferris. When you learn about her story, I did an interview with her. You can find it under the live button here on my channel, or maybe search Liz Ferris on there. She has an amazing story. What happened to her is unimaginable, if I'm being honest. But her resilience after that, and what she is doing today, and what she is putting her heart and soul into to be here, not just to expose Scientology, but to be here as a friend to many others who've experienced the kind of abuse and essay that she did, just blows my mind. Blows my mind. She's super awesome, and I love that. I love it. Okay, so I am going to make sure. Let's see. I think I got a couple of questions to grab. Jennifer, is Joe from Hellcat Stream the library guy? No. Joe is in, was that Burbank? Was that the Burbank, org, or around there? North Hollywood? But the library guy is in Toronto. So do not believe that is the same person. Kelly Mills is asking, hola, Kelly. Was Yeager the one who built the bamboo forest at the Int base? Was there a bamboo forest? Why is that not sounding familiar? I know that at the international base, they did this whole wildflower huge thing so that Tom Cruise, and I think it was Nicole Kidman at the time, could run through wildflowers because he had shared that it was a fantasy, or she did, or something. It was something stupid like that. So they made Sea Org members stay up for days, slave labor away for Tom Cruise. One of many times, by the way, that this has happened, where Tom Cruise has taken advantage of that, of Sea Org members making no money. Reiki Essence, yes. Thanks, beautiful mods, for another great program. The mods are amazing, people. I got to give props. The mods on every channel, definitely on mine, definitely on other ones as well. We couldn't do this without them. I know my mods help me keep things straight, help me make sure that I'm taking care of myself as well, and keep things going. They're totally like the lifeblood. So there's a lot that's going to be happening this weekend. First, you're going to hopefully all be able to join this evening at 5:30 Central Time when I interview William Gude, Scientology Audit Streets LA. Bring your questions for that. Want to see all you good girls and boys, or however you identify, show up. If you cannot catch the live, catch it on the replay and join the conversation. When you catch the replays, tell me where you're watching from. I want to hear your questions in the comments, because it really does help also shape, helps us understand what people are talking about, what your questions are, and I can create content around that. Jilbo, yes, Liz Ferris is gorgeous just the way she is and is fighting every day to be even better. Go support Liz Ferris. Yes, it's seriously impressive. She's only out a couple of years. I want to say maybe 3 years. You got to get familiar with her story if you're not. It's going to completely infuriate you. But then when you see what she's doing today, you're going to have mad respect for her like nobody, because it takes a lot of guts to do what she's doing. Free Bob Ferris. That's her dad, who's being held at the international base, Golden Era Productions. Scientology and the Steward told Liz that her dad was dead for 20 years, and he wasn't. He wasn't. One of many lies, many lies. Oh, Megan, you live in Louisville, Kentucky? So that video, where was it from? I forget the city. But like I said, I'm going to link it down below. You guys should connect if you want to go out there and do some Scientology audit protesting as well. That would be fantastic. Oh, Lorraine, I didn't catch that. Trashy V12 BMW, this is in Chicago, had police called on him yesterday too. Oh, interesting. There's a lot of that going around. Okay. So Jane Post is filling us in on Mark Yeager, who's a senior Scientology executive, or was, not sure what's happening to him now. Mark Yeager was the one that got RPF out of the swamp where he built a bamboo fort. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, I think it's coming back to me. Was he made to live outside? And that's what he built the bamboo fort for? Gosh, that sounds vaguely familiar. It does. And I just want to, March is Women's History Month. So I would love to, it's a great time too, like Tori Magoo 44. I'm still trying to get a hold of her and work out a time to have her on. I thought I had her number, but I didn't hear back. So I think I might have it wrong. I should probably just reach out on her email. If anybody knows Tori Magoo 44's email, or give her my email, Natalie@lifeafteroccult. I would love to connect with her, because when I think about when it comes to Scientology and shutting down Scientology, she is definitely has a key role in the history of this. And I think it's only fitting to have her on during Women's History Month as well, because she has done a lot. Oh, that's right. Jessica Palmadessa would know. Thank you, Ray, because I can reach out to Jessica and find out too. But if somebody has it, let me know. March is Fighting Irish. What is that? What's Fighting Irish? Well, I know it's St. Patrick's Day. Is that a sports reference? But yes, I do not know. So again, 5:30 this evening, William Gude's going to be on. This weekend is the opening of the Chicago organization. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that. There are multiple people who are going to be out there live streaming. You guys know how to reach me, Natalie@lifeafteroccult.com. Send me a clip. Send me a link to something, but give me a timestamp and tell me what I'm looking at, what you saw, what you think we should be sharing, what you're interested in hearing. I appreciate all of that and all that feedback and your support. Special thank you to all the members who've been joining the channel. I appreciate your support. We're going to be doing some fun behind the scenes member content coming up. If I don't get to it today, we're definitely going to be doing it this weekend. So keep an eye out for that. Everybody else, thank you so much. You are making a huge difference with this movement. Your support means everything. And most of all, get out there today and have the most amazing cult-free day.